What's going on, guys? It's Justin from Push and Profit. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about ticker symbol SPCE. I took a very light position on it today. We're going to talk about my position that I took, but also talk about some key areas and key levels that we really have to pay attention to. So, as you can see on the screen, it shows that I do have 200 shares at $25.10 per share. We are a little bit at around $25.64 per share. So, really just roughly around like about 54 cents up, which if we just grab the little drawing tool and kind of map it out, that comes out to almost being a little bit over 2% gain for the today. But it is a position that I am going to be holding, and I'm going to talk about how long I'm going to be holding it till, right? So initially, the reason I took the position, which is the first thing I want to cover, is simply just because we saw this major sell-off with SPCE. And again, I say a major sell-off, but it wasn't like the sell-off that we saw earlier in the year, right? But it was nonetheless a sell-off, and we saw that it touched this area, close to this area of support. However, I didn't buy around this area of support because, as I often preach on this channel, I don't just buy something just because it's sold off, because things could sell off and continue selling off, right? A stock could just keep going down and down and down. And so, one of the main goals that I focus on is waiting for stocks to be oversold and then waiting for that bounce back. So one of the things that I focus on is using that, area of where we look at the exponential moving average for confirmation. And so in reality, yesterday we confirmed that we were going up. However, I didn't make a trade yesterday. I was really busy trading SPY, which is the overall S&P 500, for a few trades. So I didn't really look at SPCE yesterday, although I did have an alert, but I didn't take any action. It wasn't until today where we had a major sell-off, or a bit of a sell-off for the day, intraday, and then we started pushing back up. And as we went up above the exponential moving average, that's when I took a small position, just a very light position. And it's a position that I plan to build a little swing trade in, which is why I'm still holding it, right? If it was a day trade, I probably would have went a little more heavier with the shares and then exited out, as I was going to be trading it more aggressive. But for a swing trade, I'm not going all in, because of course then I would expose myself to, the after hour market, and obviously the price fluctuation can just severely go down in the after hours without me being able to sell, which is why, when I'm building a swing trading position, I don't go too heavy. I slowly build into the position. Now, of course, you're wondering, okay, well, when do I plan to sell, right? So some areas I want to really highlight for this, and if I could just get my horizontal drawing tool, the first area of resistance that I kind of want to talk about is this area right over here. We see that was an area of resistance in the past over here and over here, and we also see that it was an area of like kind of support over here on one time before it started breaking down. Now, again, does it mean that you just because it was a previous resistance, the stock is just going to touch this and go back down? Absolutely not. We could see SPCE just break above this resistance and just go up much, much higher. We also have to take into consideration that SPCE does have a catalyst event coming up soon where they are going to be flying with the Italian Space Force. So that could honestly drastically push the price up if it is a successful flight. So really what I'm doing is I had this small position. As we get closer, I am going to be looking to locking in profits at $27.52. However, I'm not going to immediately just sell once the stock touches this. I'm going to wait for confirmation if it's going to be a resistance that's going to kind of have a little pressure, or is it going to be able to break above this area of resistance? Now, if it does break above this area of resistance, then of course the next area is where we see this green line, which is the 200-day simple moving average, right? And it makes perfect sense. We could, if I just grab another or draw the line again right over here, we could see that around this area where we have the simple moving average, it was support earlier, or just a few weeks ago as well, a few months ago actually. So it makes perfect sense. This is a interesting channel that I really want to see SPC break above, but of course it's not guaranteed. Nothing in the market's guaranteed, which is why I always preach that you want to mitigate your risk and kind of just manage whatever you do. Know what you are entering. Is it a day trade, a swing trade? Is it a long-term investment, right? So that's really the question you have to ask yourself. So for me personally with SPCE, this is just like a quick little swing trade that I'm going to do. Of course, if it does break above this, which, is not really likely, but if it does, last time SPCE had a launch into orbit, they went up to $61. So, if that happens, that could potentially be, let's go ahead and map that out from 225.10 all the way to this. That's about almost 146%, which is just insane. It's astronomical, pun intended, to really just think about, right? But again, it's just it seemed like a good opportunity to enter in today. We see that the RSI, when it did have that dip, kind of touched this area of oversold. It is going up a little, but it's still not really overbought. It's not really hot over here yet. So this makes perfect for a swing trade. But again, you never know what the market's going to present. Tomorrow is Friday. Now, it's not like a 100% fact, but typically the market does do well on a Friday. Now let's go ahead and look at the overall S&P 500, or just look at ticker symbol SPY, which is the ETF for the S&P 500. We see that there has been a bit of a sell-off. I've actually been shorting the S&P 500 for quite a while. You see I actually closed one of my puts and then opened a small position on some puts for this as well. It's really just like a weekly put, but I actually had a in the money monthly put that I recently just locked in some very decent profits. I had another video where I talked about why I was shorting over here at the top. But again, you guys could check out that video. But again, tomorrow's going to be Friday, and the market, after having 3 or almost 4 bad days in the market, typically it's not guaranteed, but usually the market does kind of cool off for a bit. So we may see either the market move sideways tomorrow, or it may be a little bit green, which may also help ticker symbol SPCE. Again, SPCE is not going to really 100% move with the overall market, but I do tend to look at the overall S&P 500 to kind of gauge like what is the sentiment with the market. So it's a lot of interesting stuff going on. We got talks of tapering with the Federal Reserve. I mean, there's just so much going on that it'd be insane to mention it all in this video. But I'm just gonna wrap it up here, guys. Just kind of wanted to summarize the slight position that I have with SPCE. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys are day trading this, swing trading this, or investing in long term. And also let me know when you plan to enter, if you haven't already, or if you have, and when you plan to exit, right? Because it's very easy to say I'm gonna do this, or it's gonna go to the moon, but explain why you think it's gonna reach a certain price level. So let me know in the comment section. Again, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel, and with that being said, guys, my name is Justin Fernio, and I'll see you guys on the next video.